Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Chairman, up on your left-hand corner, welcome. One of my colleagues in their statements said that the President has implemented harmful economic policies. In your assessment, I think you said the economy is doing quite well. Is that correct?
Yes, I'd say the economy has performed, I said, reasonably well so far this year. Yes.
Right, last quarter was 3.1% growth. Pretty great, isn't it?
Just if you take it through the middle of the year, we'll have growth probably in the mid-twos, and yeah, that's a solid performance.
Okay, great. Where I come from, obviously we'd like our rural communities to grow as well as our urban communities, but by and large, the biggest complaint that I hear from my employers is that they don't have enough labor. They can't get people in to their shops to fill the positions that are open, and then there's some that'll come in and they don't actually want to work, which leads me to immigration, but I'm not going to go there with you. We had some problems in immigration. But there's competition for labor. And when there's competition for labor, don't you see salaries rise, hourly wages rise when there's competition for labor?
Yes.
Or am I wrong on that?
It's very interesting. We have seen wages moving up, and we do hear lots of reports like what you just said about labor shortages and can't find qualified people. We would have expected to see wages move up more. They are moving up at a healthy level, on average a little more than 3%. That's a good thing. But yeah, you would want a tight labor market to produce solid wages.
Is this a fairly tight labor market?
It is by almost every measure. I would say that the thing that doesn't really show the tightness through is the wages, which could be higher.
In a tight labor market, if I have a person who's making $12 an hour, but they're actually worth $15 an hour, what do you think happens?
Well, in economic theory, they should be earning $15 an hour. If their marginal product is $15,
they'll leave one job and probably go to someone else that'll pay them $15 an hour, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone's looking for labor. But if a guy's making $15 an hour, but maybe only worth 11, what happens?
Well,
they might get fired, right?
Yeah.
Or you might automate. So the markets actually work to pay people the value of the services that they provide the company, and that especially happens in a tight labor market, which I know you won't make the point on a $15 minimum wage, but my concern is that if we increase that too high, and we have people who aren't at the value of $15 an hour, they'll lose their jobs and fall into deeper despair. That's my concern. With regard to, I'm going to switch gears on you. In regard to trade, you're not commenting, I know, on the policies of the president with regard to trade, but you look at our long-term horizon. You've mentioned debt and the problems we're going to have. But with regard to trade, if we have countries that will steal our technology, so you have a company that invests $500 million in a new technology, and someone steals it from you and just has to pay a hacker in a basement, and then you come to market with the same product at zero cost versus your $500 million, how do we compete in the long run with that environment? Or if you have a country that manipulates their currency to make sure we can't have some equilibrium with regard to our trade, how do you deal with countries like that, but for the policies that the president has pushed?
Those are entirely appropriate considerations for those who have responsibility for trade policy.
Would it concern you for the long-term health of the American economy if people are stealing our technology or cheating us or manipulating their currency? Would that concern you?
I have to say we are very unusual in a democracy that we have this independence to do our jobs, and I think that means we need to stay in our lane. I try very hard not to get pulled into things that we're not responsible for. So I'm just going to have to say that.
With regard to, someone mentioned corporate greed. We want to see companies and individuals behave responsibly and honorably, but we also want them to make a profit, right? Do you have an objection to companies and individuals making a profit, making money?
Well, we do have a market-based system.
And if they make too much, is that a problem for you?
It's not.
And if so, how much is too much?
Not for us to judge.
Okay. So do you support a market economy think that's a good thing.
I think our economy has been market-based, and I think that's served the public well.
And probably the greatest economy that's existed on the face of the earth. Fair to say? Yeah? Okay, I yield back.